We have pretty much a returning cast of characters except for one. Who is this stranger in our midst? Let's go around the table and introduce ourselves first off, and then we'll get staff to introduce themselves as well. And that's how we're going to get the ball rolling.
Representative Broderick Henderson. I represent the 35th District in Kansas City, and I've also served on this committee previously. So I have a little knowledge.
Representative Lonnie Clark, I'm from Junction City, and I think I've been on the committee ever since I got here 8 years ago.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am Paul Wagoner of the 104th District in Reno County, north side of Hutchinson, Vice Chairman. This is my second year here and have enjoyed serving with you all, especially the Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Mike Amix. I'm from the city of Lawrence. I represent western Douglas County, northern Douglas County, and the city of Lecompton, the constitutional capital of the great state of Kansas. I am the ranking Democrat.
For the record, that was voted on in Lecompton by Missourians, so I'm not sure that counted.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. David French, I'm the representative from the 40th District, which is Lansing and part of the city of Leavenworth. And this is my 4th year on this committee. It's always fun with our chairman. He keeps it interesting in spite of all of the detailed finances we have to deal with. So glad to be back.
This is the most interesting committee.
It is.
In the entire building. Let's see, do we have any Secret Square candidates up here? Do we have anyone accessing remotely?
Yes, can you hear me?
So I know Tory is supposed, or Representative Arnberger was supposed to be remote. Yes. And I see that Representative Burrows is not here. And Representative Anderson I knew wasn't going to be here.
Can you not hear me, Mr. Chairman?
They're both connected. Would they like to introduce themselves?
Hello?
I guess not.
Mr. Chairman? Mr. Chairman, can you hear me?
I don't think they can hear us, Tom. Can you hear me?
I do. I can, Tori. Evidently, they're not either ignoring us or not paying attention to us.
I'm going to go with both.
Oh, Lordy.
Did I hear a voice?
Can you hear us now?
Now I can.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Representative Tori Marie Arnberger from 112th District, and this is my 4th year on committee. Previous session in 2018 and 2019, or no, it might have been 2019 and 2020. I was the vice chair of the committee.
All right, and Representative Burrows, are you there also?
Mr. Chairman, I think so.
Oh, there you, I hear you.
Wonderful. Tom Burrows, District 33, part of Wyandotte County, Palm Springs, Edwardsville. I've served on the committee off and on for, I believe, 12 years, Mr. Chairman. You've been my chairman in the past. Now you're comfortable hands with my ranking member, Mr. Amix.
Very good. Very good. And I am Representative Bill Sutton from the 43rd District, the extreme southwest corner of Johnson County. And other than a brief stint of 2 years, I've been on this committee since I got here as well. And it's fun, fun, fun. And I love being the chairman of this committee. I love being on this committee. We have staff to introduce as well. So who wants to jump into the fray first?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the committee, I'm Jesse, and I'm with the Office of the Reviser of Statutes. And this is my 4th session with the legislature, but my very first year on budget. So I also staff House Appropriations, and I'm going to be staffing this budget committee.
You get all the excitement.
So thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Dylan Deere. I've been with the legislature for 12 years now. And before this committee, I will be talking about the Secretary of State, the Office of the Governor, and the Department of Revenue.
Excellent. He'll also be doing it really fast. All right, now we also have a new producer and director for our show this year.
My name is Phyllis. I've been, this is my 11th year, I believe, and first year on budget. So I'm looking forward to it very much.
All right, very good. First off, now that everyone's, wait, not everyone's introduced. This guy's over here trying to be silent and invisible.
My name's Charlie Peters. I'm the AV technician for this meeting.
I'm sorry, I was distracted. Could you say that again?
My name is Charlie Peters. I'm the AV technician for this meeting.
Excellent. So any tech-related questions are going to you.
Yep, right here.
All right, perfect, perfect. And Dylan, I believe you have staff also that are here.
Hi, my name is James Fisher. I'm the managing IT analyst with KLRD. This is my 7th session, my 2nd with a budget, and you'll see me when we present OITS later this year.
Good afternoon. My name is Sharday Kane, and I will be in here with the Governmental Ethics Commission budget. And this is my 2nd session with legislative research and with this budget too.
Hello, my name is Victoria Potts. This is my 4th session with legislative research, and in front of this committee, I will have Department of Labor.
Good afternoon, committee members, chairman. My name is Dayton Lemunion. This is my first year with legislative research as a fiscal analyst, and I'll be presenting the following agencies. There are several. Board of Tax Appeals, the Board of Examiners in Optometry, the Board of Hearing Aid Examiners, the Kansas Lottery, the Pooled Money Investment Board, the Kansas Racing and Gaming Commission, and the Office of the State Treasurer. So if you have any questions on those agencies, please reach out. Thank you. Lemunion. Lemunion, yes. And I've heard every permutation, so don't feel bad.
Should he introduce himself? I think the newcomer should absolutely introduce himself. No, we were going through staff introductions, so this would be an excellent time. You were very punctual.
Good afternoon, members of the committee. Excuse me, my name is Harris Sheikh. I am a legislative fellow at KLRD. This is going to be my first session, and I will be presenting the budgets of the boards of barbering, cosmetology, the offices of administrative hearing, and the Kansas Human Rights Commission. Good to be part of the committee and look forward to serving the committee.
Excellent. And we can combine 2 of those, won't we? No? Oh, okay, just checking. All right, committee, you will find the committee rules and the conferee rules in your folder. Those are the same from last year, and they're probably the same from the year before that and the year before that. I have a strong hunch. We didn't change anything this year, so there shouldn't be any surprises there. Thank you, staff, for being here, and I look forward to working with you. At this time, I'd probably better make the request for any bill introductions, if there are any. Seeing none, this is pretty easy. Okay, just to kind of lay out where, that's all the business that we have for the day, was just to meet everyone and figure out where our room was and that sort of thing. But starting next week, we are going to have a couple of meetings, and I think the schedule might be solidified, close. Okay. What we're looking at is meeting for Wednesday and Thursday. And on those, we won't have any budgets yet. So we won't have any of that work, but we will have some, I'm going to call it groundwork, some preparatory hearings to learn a little bit more about and I don't know which day is which, so you'll get the finalized agenda as soon as it's nailed down. But first, we want to look at the performance measures that Dylan has put a great deal of effort into. As you know, we moved to using performance measures years ago, maybe 6 years ago, something like that. And in practice, maybe some of them weren't as instrumental as they could be as far as analyzing the performance of the Kansas tax dollar. So there's been a lot of work trying to refine that process, and we can be a part of that as well. But before we start refining the process, I'd like to understand the process just a little bit more. And so that will be the dedication of one meeting. The other meeting, I want to look at the modernization programs for the Department of Labor and OITS. As you know, we allocated some funds in the past for modernization of their computer programs. I'm in this committee not terribly concerned with keeping tabs on the development of that modernization, other than how it affects us fiscally, other than how it affects their budgets. That's something that I think we need to keep a little bit of control over. Certainly keep some awareness on those two topics. So that will be the other meeting next week. Following that, we'll start getting budgets around the 31st, somewhere around that time, and then it's off to the races. As you know, we have 27 budgets in this committee. That requires some discipline in order to get through those, but we will do it because we always do. One of the things, when we start receiving budgets, just to kind of let you know where I am on the overall climate that we're in this year. We have a lot of federal money flowing through the state. We had a lot of federal money go straight to taxpayers, which then in turn through sales tax, through income tax, what have you, also flows to the state. I'm very cautious, and I think it's probably just because of the fact that I've been here for a long time and we've never had any money. So I'm a little cautious when I see positive numbers on our budget. I want to be very careful and treat this as temporary. I would not try to expect 15 to 25% annual return on our CAPERS money. That's ridiculous. We got it. We did it. That was a great year, but we can't predict that. We certainly can't expect that in the future. It could happen, it may not. We have to be cognizant of growing government in a time when we can. But can we tomorrow? That's the question. So I'm going to be looking very intently at things that will eliminate spending in the future. One-time spends that will eliminate spending in the future. One-time spends that will modernize. That's why I want to look at OITS and labor. One-time spends that will modernize our systems, make them more able to handle bizarre circumstances like we had maybe in the last couple of years, for example. Department of Labor was completely Decimated, yeah, it's an excellent word. I wasn't sure what word I would use. They were in a tough spot, and they didn't have the equipment to support what they needed to do. And we can fix that, but we want to make sure we're going about it in an intelligent and responsible sort of way, with an eye to the future, where maybe federal government checks aren't being cut on a daily basis to the state and to the taxpayers of Kansas. So I think we need to hold the line, but we have an opportunity to really fix some problems that have been in existence for a while. We can fix these. We can leave the table clear for the next round of legislation that'll come down the pike next year. So anyway, that's my goal. If your goal differs, great. We'll have fun with that too, whatever. But anyway, that's just kind of where I am on it. Does anyone like to make any comments prior to adjourning our first ever meeting of 2022? Yes, Representative Amix.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And just to follow up on your comments, I look forward to working with you and the other members of this committee in hopes that we're able to reach a lot of common goals that we all have, and I think things are going to be okay.
Very good. I think you're right.
Thank you.
Yes, Representative French.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think one of the biggest problems we're going to have this year is that the state is bleeding employees. And because of the fact we have not given them a cost of living allowance now in 2 years. And with inflation raising its ugly head, we've got to do something to stop the experience walking out the door, and us stuck with nobody to do the work here. So I'm going to be looking at salary increases for most of the state employees. In some special cases, like the judicial system, I still think needs to be included, and also the law enforcement, corrections, sheriff's departments, and local police. So that's what I'm going to be looking at, trying to make sure that we're taking care of the state employees this year while we have that extra money you've been talking about. So again, maybe just a one-time thing, but we need to be looking at that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Very good. Yes. Representative Paul.
Yes. Thank you, Chairman. I did want to, I know some of you from last year, and I believe Dylan could, it's like, what is it, the 406, 410 form or something that is, it actually has more detail on the budget than what you see on just the summary. And I personally really appreciated those. I thought it was very helpful. It actually gave you a little bit more meat to kind of work with as to what's going on with some of these departmental budgets. I do just on staff basis, I know I'll be asking for those, as we come forward. And I'll also be, as far as for those of you who might be more numbers persons who would like to see some of that, certainly try and make it, available because as a business person, I found it very helpful, and I could really understand where the changes were coming and have better questions, a better, critique of the proposed budgets. So anyway, that's for this year.
Representative
Thank you,
Amix,
Mr.
for
Chair.
a second bite at the apple.
Thank you. On what the Vice Chairman just brought up, is that something that can be provided to each member of this body as
Absolutely.
just additional information?
Yes. Analyst Deere.
With your permission, Mr. Chairman.
Promote you to representative just then. Did you hear that?
I tried. So I just want to be clear, the 406, 410s can be quite large, particularly for some of the larger agencies like Department of Administration. Would your preference be to have those electronically or on paper?
I think electronically is going to be A-okay. Paul will print his off.
So we'll plan to provide those as PDFs, and then as soon as those become available, all right?
Excellent. Any other comments? How about from our Brady Bunch group? No? Okay, with that then, until Wednesday of next week, we are adjourned.